I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking
everybody. Oh, good evening, everybody. And just realised that I'm live and I don't see Steve-O. Yeah, so I don't know where he is. I'll try and reload him. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to Boona in the chat. It's been a while since I've seen your name. Steve-O's in there. Hopefully I should see him in a moment. Steve-O, can you hear me? You got yourself muted, haven't you? Oh. This is great, isn't it? Hello, Haggis. How's it going? Leyland, Taste of Chaos, FPL Sparta's here too. How are you guys doing this game week? Post your scores in the chat. Come on, let me read them out. Have we got any big ones in the chat? Any big scores? We've got Andrew Ferguson here, Michael Sven in here. Steve-O's back. Great to see you, Steve-O. How you doing, buddy? Good evening, Andrew.
I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I'm genuinely just gutted about what happened in that game. Legitimately gutted. Like, forget FPL for a minute. That game was absolutely ludicrous. I don't think you even watched it, did you?
I didn't watch it. To be tell I had it on my phone. I was playing Diablo 4.
You were playing Diablo 4 instead of watching Man City versus Arsenal.
Correct.
Well, you missed one of the most extraordinary games I think I've ever witnessed. I'm sure
I saw from the 27th minute till the 45th minute. And then I saw from the 45th minute to about the 68th minute, and then I went out to get some stuff from the shop. When I saw Trossard get sent off, I was like, "Oh my god, that's so stupid! Why has he done that for?"
What did you think about that being a former referee?
Of the law, it's a well, you can't. You leave the referee with no other choice, mate. You know, you go in on a challenge, and yeah, you technically it wasn't a bad challenge, but it was still a challenge which was a bit petulant. And then after that, you then bout the ball into the stands. I mean, come on,
I think more momentum rather than him frustratingly kicking the ball away.
I don't know. He knew exactly what he was doing, because I think he went to stop. Like, because they said, the commentators said, didn't they? Oh, it looked like he went to stop, but he didn't. It was like, oh, right, well, he must have heard the whistle.
I think you're being very, 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 very harsh there. I just agree with everything Mark Goldberg said. Just the game has gone absolutely mad, and
it killed the game. It killed the game, definitely. And but from like the trick is not to give the referee the opportunity to make a decision. And unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, he did. He gave the referee a decision to make, and by the letter of the law, he's made the right decision. And as annoying as it is, because he was already on a yellow card, he's now received a second and got sent off. So
He could have gone, right, the yellow cards for the shoulder barge, whatever. You do that again with kicking the ball away, you're going to get a second yellow, you're gone. I'm going to be lenient here, surely. I've never seen anything like
do you have to remember, these referees get rated as well by their internal BGMOL. So if the referee kind of drew a blind eye to that, then where do you draw the line? You know, you'd have players just kicking the ball away left, right, and centre again. And it, to be honest, I used to hate it when it used to happen all the time. So kind of like, the thing is, kicking the ball away, it's kind of got less and less common now. Obviously now, because the bookings have come in, players don't kick the ball away, and it's been great for the game to keep the game flowing. I mean, it was just a moment of I think he just completely lost his mind for that moment and just kicked the ball away in frustration because the free kick was awarded. But a lot of players, I mean, they've conditioned themselves now not to kick the ball away. It's a shame. The referee could have used his discretion and could have said, you know what, do that again, and that's it, you'll be off. But he would have been marked down on that. And, you know, like I said, it just creates more of the Man City fans will then be up and raw about that if the referee had have given him the second chance, because
I guarantee if there wasn't a second yellow card, there wouldn't be a single human being on this planet that would have gone, where's the second yellow?
Well, I can tell you what, I can flip that. I can flick that back onto you. If there hadn't been a first yellow card, yeah, and had he got a yellow card, his first yellow card for that, not a single person in the stadium or football fan would have been like, you know, yeah, that's harsh. They would have accepted it. The fact of the matter is, because it was his second yellow card, it meant obviously a much more consequential result in Arsenal going in second half with 10 men. So, you know, it's like one of those things where if something has more consequence, should it be treated the same? I.e., if a tackle, if a sort of solid tackle goes in the middle of the centre circle, you get a free kick. But if a solid tackle goes in the middle of the penalty area, you give the defender a benefit of the doubt, don't you? You don't give. That? How many times have you said? How many times have you heard the referee or the commentator or fellow football fans say, "Oh, if that had been outside of the box, they would have given it," but because it was in the box, you know, they've given the benefit of the doubt. Again, it's the repercussions of what happens.
But do you
yellow card for kicking the ball away.
But do you remember when Van Persie was sent off and literally the play was this? So I can't remember the direct ins and outs of it, other than I just remember it was this. Referee blows the whistle for offside. Van Persie was just about to shoot anyway. He shoots. We're talking literally milliseconds. The referee goes, right, off. You've kicked the ball away. And it's like, what? Hold on a minute here.
Yeah.
I was in momentum of doing what I was doing, and that's how I feel about Trossard. I don't think he was doing it with the intent of, oh, effing hell, I'm so angry that I've just been yellow carded. I don't think it had anything to do with that. And I think that...
Do you know what I think it was? I think the game was pumped up. I think adrenaline was running. And I don't think he realised what he actually did until after he did it, because you saw his reaction, didn't you? He was literally like...
You obviously didn't see the opening 27 minutes. It started off literally after 8 seconds, Rodri making out he'd been headbutted by Havertz after 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like, is this really how the game's going? And then a few seconds later, Haaland goes in on Saliba, I think it was, really, really aggressively. And I'm watching this going, really, is it going to be one of those games where it's going to be more about I personally, the fake kind of animosity rather than genuine animosity. If this was Man U Arsenal from 1998 or whatever, I get it.
Oh my God.
But this was Arsenal versus Man City in the 5th game week of the season. And it was as if they all hated each other. And I didn't get it. I thought Rodri, after 8 seconds, set the tone, to be honest, after that pathetic attempt of trying to get Havertz being sent off. It was the most, honestly, it was the most bizarre opening to a game. It literally was this. Yeah. We're like, what's going on? And then all you hear is Gary Neville, oh, God, what's happened here? We've had an off-the-ball incident. I'm just thinking, oh, God, it's like someone come on the pitch, a fan or something, Just Oil or whatever they're bloody called. Have they come on the pitch? No. To see Rodri rolling around, and you're thinking, oh, God, what's happened here? And you see what's happened. You're like, we're delaying the match for 2 minutes because of that prat. It's just embarrassing. I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the match, to be honest with you. I'm amazed Haaland didn't... Forget FPL. I don't give a shit about FPL, to be honest with you. But Haaland not getting a yellow for shoving Gabriel, I didn't quite understand why that wasn't given yet. Bernardo Silva gets a yellow
like it's been said in the chat, referees ignore yellow cards all the time for it. Sibba says in the chat, exact same United game happened yesterday, no yellow. Who was that involving, Sibba, if you don't mind me asking? But yeah, I'm not saying for a second that referees don't turn the other cheek. Look, kind of the fact of the matter is it was right in front of the ref right in the center of the field, right? And the manner of which he kicked it, it wasn't like a tap. It was a belt. He smacked it. So I think, like, you've seen players all the time. You see them near the touchline. They'll just like fouls awarded, and then they just tap the ball out of play or whatever, or they make the motion to they throw it, but they don't throw it at the player. They throw it past the player or something like that. So they technically are kind of gaming the rules a little bit. But I think personally, the rule of kicking the ball away has done the game good, because there's nothing worse than when one team wants to start off quickly after a free kick because they've been on the attack. Then the defending team get the ball and just kick it away, or prevent the fast free kick to be taken. So I think it has been a benefit to have this rule of yellow cards with kicking the ball away. But I do think that this could be a good reason to have, was it a blue card they were talking about introducing, Steve-O? I
remember something like that.
Someone in the chat who knows more than me about football, like 99% of the chat, there was a card that they were thinking of introducing, like a blue card. Now, I think that instances like this, where there's been a yellow card on a player and then he's done something like kick the ball away, or he's celebrated by taking his shirt off, because that's another thing. Imagine getting sent off for celebrating by taking your shirt off. So a blue card would be like a sin bin. So again, I do think that's a good idea. Introducing like a 10-minute sit out. So if you do something like that, which is not, you're not hurting someone, you're not recklessly endangering anyone, you're not you're not really doing anything bad. You just you're infracting on the rules of the game by taking your shirt off, celebrating, or you've kicked the ball away in petulance. Just give them a blue card and get them to sit out for 10 minutes. That's enough punishment for me. Sending them off, I think it's a bit too much. But anyway, I think I think instances like that, a blue card would be really good. But you know, at the end of the day, I didn't watch a lot of the game, but from what I just see of it, the second half, Man City were just knocking at the door the whole of the time. Obviously, 10 men Arsenal.
I said to Ray on a voice message that I think Roy Keane was being very harsh when it came to Arsenal and their defending and saying that Man City didn't create much, which is true, but that's because Arsenal were defending that well to stop them from creating. I think Roy Keane is speaking absolute twaddle there. You can clip that. But
well, was it that? But also, a lot of the Man City's creative players were. I mean, certainly they missed De Bruyne. I'm sure. You know, they had obviously Rodri, which is a great link-up player as well from midfield to attack. I mean, Rodri's been involved in so many of their goals.
You're aware he went off injured.
Yeah, I know.
Really,
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
So knee injury, wasn't it? Jarred his knee or something like that.
Yeah, that was after what, 15 minutes or so.
So going back to the original point, I think it was really harsh for Arsenal. I think right at the death for them to concede. And I didn't see the goal. I heard it on the radio on 5 Live. Apparently, it was a load of rebounds or deflections in the box and kind of pinballed into the back of the net. So it's really harsh for Arsenal fans to kind of stomach that and to swallow that. But at the end of the day, they can take a lot of pride from the performance, from being 10 men, you know, away at the Etihad against arguably the best squad team in the world. So I think Arsenal are going to be literally breathing down Man City's neck the whole season, much like last season. I think if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be disappointed. I think I would be disappointed, but I'd be okay with the point.
Yeah, I'd be happy with it, but I'd be just, if I'm Dan, Ray, or any other Arsenal fan, I'd be just devastated that you held out for 50 odd minutes in the second half, defended so well, restricted Man City to potluck shots. Yeah. And ironically, they needed De Bruyne to find an opening. They really did. They needed someone like De Bruyne to find an opening to cut through that solid Arsenal defence, and they didn't have it. And then that last second, I mean, what was it? The 97th minute, Jace, that they scored?
Something like that, yeah.
And yeah, I literally just, you can blame me because I literally wrote the title of the stream saying Arsenal Masterclass, turned the laptop off and then goal. Oh, for fuck. Like, I was just like, really? And yeah, I enjoyed the game in the sense of just watching a team defending the way they did. But I felt that it was literally just a training game. Right, this is how you defend really well, and we want to see how we can get through from an attacking point of view. I don't even think Arsenal were even in the Man City box more than 5 times in the second half. The only upside to Arsenal is that they're at Bolton in midweek. They're going to play a bunch of kids. They can just completely rest. Saka was given a full rest, essentially, so he's going to be ready for Leicester. And yeah, it's going into next game week. I'm contemplating just going with Saka only, taking the hit with not having any Arsenal. Because I'll be completely frank with you, Jay, says linking it in to FPL. I need another wild card. I hate the fact that I haven't gone Haaland. I mean,
can I do -4?
I had you heard me speaking to myself. I had a -12 in front of me to get in Haaland.
Sometimes ripping the Band-Aid off can work.
Yeah, no, I know it can.
But it can also...
Yeah, but it means bringing in Vardy, Semenyo and Gabriel for Trent, Palmer and João Pedro in Vardy's case. It's just not worth it. Not for next week, where obviously Arsenal are at home to Leicester. Do you know what? It wouldn't it be ironic that Leicester go and score 2 goals against them? But anyway, Arsenal at home to Leicester. Liverpool have got a really favourable fixture against Wolves, in my opinion. I actually think Salah's a decent captaincy shout, to be honest with you. And then Palmer is then at home to Brighton.
Let me just get your team up on the screen so people can see what you're talking about. One moment.
I don't need to do the -12. In fact, I'm probably not. And then, in fact, I'm going to then go into game week 7 with 2 free transfers. This is because I've already done the Saka move. I did it last night because apparently De Bruyne was going to go down in price. I mean, he didn't, but it will be going down in price tonight probably. And I needed to do that move to basically get it bang on the money essentially, which leaves me 0.5 in the back. But Gabriel's going to go up in price tonight, and I don't really want to be losing Trent Alexander-Arnold for that game against Wolves. I can happily lose him for the following week, but bringing in Haaland for that game week 7 fixture against Fulham is just a must, basically, by which point he could be 15.4. It kind of is sickening. I mean, there are people out there that are pretty much refusing to be bringing in Haaland, and they've done very well to do so.
Yeah, but the people that I think the people that are refusing to bring in Haaland are just essentially handicapping themselves. And I think
doing very well at the game.
I don't think they'll continue to do if they are. I think that Haaland is almost a must. And I hate to say it, but even for the price that he's at, I think that he's proved that he's going to do damage. If you've got him in your team, you can just perma captain him. I think Salah's. I don't know. It's an alternative, yes, but there's a lot of combinations that you can have both Haaland and Salah in your team. I just think that the likes of Palmer, that people like you've got Palmer in your team. I mean, how do you feel about him? Are you happy? Well, you've got Rodgers that's outscoring him this game week, and I think that he's going to potentially be an absolute bargain at 5 million or whatever he was at the start of the season. I mean, what is he now? Is he already up? Was he 5 million or 5.5?
He's 5.1, but no, I think he was gone up to 5.2 now. I think.
Right. Yeah, I think he carries on. Yeah. I mean, he'd probably be going up again.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's now been awarded 3 bonus points from yesterday. So me and you.
I've just seen that we're on level points.
We're literally I think you got 1 more point than me. You did.
No,
I got 67. You got 68.
No, I think we are looking on FPL GameWeek. I've got 67 points. You've got 83. Oh no, hang on. Give me a moment. That's not you. You've got 67 points. I've got 67 points. How weird is that? We are, for the second week in a row, we are literally level in FPL. That's so strange.
How many goal scorers did you have? Because I had 2. No, 3. I had Mbermo, Palmer, and Watkins. How many did you have this week? You had Welbeck, Haaland.
2.
Just 2?
2, yeah. So you're ahead of me.
So I'm ahead of you because of goals scored.
Well, yeah, goals scored. I mean, come on. So it's all to play for. And I took a -4 this week. So.
Yeah, how do you come away from that -4? The fact that Rashford bizarrely didn't start? Even though you got the perfect outcome of a 0-0. I mean, that was just disgusting when I heard that.
Disappointed. But at the same time, I'm happy to hold on to him for a couple of more weeks and just see how he goes. Against Tottenham, I think he might have a good shot.
Oh, yeah, of course. Is it at Spurs or Old Trafford?
It is at Spurs, yeah. No, it's at Old Trafford, sorry.
Oh, that is... I'll tell you what.
Captain him.
Well,
no,
you
I'm not
joke.
I'll
tell you what, though, Jace. What a shout. I mean, I can't bring him in anyway, but what a shout for anybody to have Rashford or Fernandes at home to Spurs.
I just don't know what I'm going to do with Joe Pedro.
Oh, well, for me... I want to get in Vardy for him, but he looked like he was carrying a knock He didn't look that great when he came on. He played for like 20 minutes.
Vardy's too much now, isn't he? He's 5'7".
Right, you can't do the exact transfer, no?
No.
I know you got no money, have you?
Nope.
Yeah. This is the problem. Pedro is somebody...
Oh, but I tell you what, Raya looks like an absolute amazing pick.
I know. It's frightening. It's frightening.
But I've got no easy way. Well, I'm not going to be doing another hit, so I echo you. If I had another wild card, I'd set my team up a little bit differently.
Well,
I'm happy I'll hold on to. I'm happy with Luis Diaz.
Yeah, where did that come from? Absolutely. Oh, wait a minute. No, you go ahead of me because Diaz scored twice.
Possibly then on FPL GameWeek it shows you ahead of me, but I don't know. Maybe they just don't have that. They don't count that.
Well, they should do because he got 2 goals. Then you got Haaland. Then you got Welbeck. Then that's 4. The thing is that with Diaz, I actually think, and I said it at the start of the season, didn't I? I think Salah's going to become more of the assister rather than the scorer. I think he's got...
The problem with the Diaz, though, is he's got Nunes and you've got Gakpo.
Yeah, but people keep coming out with this line, but yeah, the manager said that this and that and the other, and it's like, yeah, but he still played. He is the second attacker in that Liverpool front 3. It's the front man, which is the main rotation risk in Jota and Nunes. Salah's guaranteed to play. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he bloody started against West Ham in the Cup, for crying out loud. But then you've got Diaz on the left, who, as I keep stating, is going to be 85-90% starter. And then Jota is the next one, but he's at rotation risk with Nunes, Gakpo, and alike. So I think that if I could do my wild card again, I wouldn't have Salah in it at all. It would be Diaz, and I'd have...
You wouldn't have Salah in it?
No, I'd have triple Arsenal defence as well. I would. I'd go Raya, Gabriel, and Saliba.
Raya, Gabriel.
Yeah.
I don't think triple. Just have 2.
No. I think that's the power play.
I don't know if you should have all your eggs in one basket. I think if it was me, I'd go Raya, Gabriel, Saka.
Yeah, I mean that's the quote logical move, but there's something about Saka, a bit like Salah this season, where he seems to be more of the assister. Again, I'm probably speaking absolute nonsense, but if I look at Saka here with his returns, so assist.
Holy moly.
In fact, the last time he scored was in game week 1. All he's done is assist. That's it. He's got 5 assists in 5, but he scored once, which was in the home game against Wolves when they won 2-0, and he got a goal and assist. And that's why, for me, a triple up of Arsenal defence, they're so solid, Jace.
I don't know if I'd go triple up.
Like you say, the logic and the safest bet would be the 2 plus Saka. But if you really want to go for it, those 3 plus Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I don't like the look of Liverpool's fixtures upcoming either. That's why I think I'm going to risk it this week, because this week is when they've got a break. So this week they have their break versus West Ham in the Cup, assuming that they are going to be resting a lot of their players. I'm assuming that Cheze, or whatever his bloody name is, will be coming in for Salah. You'll have Gakpo and Nunes starting, maybe even Jota starting this week. But then it's after the Wolves game, Jace, where I do not like Liverpool at all. You've got, in a very short period of time, Bologna away in the Champions League, Crystal Palace away at lunchtime kickoff, who they don't like playing. Then they're at home to Chelsea after the international break. then it's RP Leipzig, then it's Arsenal, then it's Brighton, there's Bayer Leverkusen, then it's Aston Villa. Then after Southampton, they've got Real Madrid and Man City, and then Newcastle. Like, I'm happily willing after this Wolves game. This is why I'm just wanting to relax a bit. Just take the hit on Trent Alexander-Arnold and then go, right, Steve-O, whatever you've got from Trent, you've got from Trent. You've then got 2 free transfers for game week 7 where you can sack off Trent for Gabriel. You can bring in Haaland for Watkins, and then you can sack off Salah for whomever in game week 7. That's kind of the thought process that I'm going with, because
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I don't see why you would think it, otherwise, really. It's logical.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it frees up a lot of money.
It doesn't really. I'm very, 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 very tight with the money at the moment. Really tight. It's bordering on almost impossible me doing these moves if certain players don't go up in price. In fact, right this second, as we're speaking, right this split second, right now,
yeah,
if I can get to game week 7, which is going to be impossible, with João Pedro not falling in price and Salah not falling in price, I can bring in Haaland for Pedro and bring in some 4.5 midfielder. The problem is I can't do that, Jace, because Gabriel is going to be going up in price tonight. I can't do it. Unless I was to do it right now for a -8, but that ain't going to be happening. That is not going to be happening.
Gabriel's going up in price tonight.
He will be going up in price tonight. And if he don't go up in price tonight, it'll be tomorrow night. He'll be going up this week. That's the biggest issue I've got, unless Trent Alexander-Arnold goes up by 0.1 again, which means then I actually can match Gabriel. But the likelihood of, by game week 7, Pedro staying at, what is he, 5.7, isn't he? Yeah, he's 5.7. He's going to drop in price. So there's no way that's happening, Jace. And there's no way in hell Haaland by game week 7 is still going to be 15.3. I think I'm going to be ruled out of that move. And it would mean I would have Saka, Palmer and Burmo and Rodgers as my middle 4, which would be a really good midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Really good midfield to have.
What would that be for a minus what?
If I was to do it right now, that would be for a -8. But if I was to do it in game week 7, that's a -4. Or no, it's a free. It's a free move in game week 7. It's free.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
no, sorry, it'd be a -4 because of I'd be doing Gabriel in as well. It's bloody tough, mate. It's bloody tough. But it would mean I have a really nice front 3 of Watkins, Haaland and Calvert-Lewin if everything was to go to plan. But I'm certainly jumping off Liverpool after this Wolves fixture. I think this really is a case of Salah gets a hat-trick, which isn't going to be happening, but Salah does really well against Wolves. And then we just move on from there, because just looking at their history here, even against Crystal Palace, I'm sure it's pretty poor. Yeah, it's crap. The last 5 fixtures have ended with a 1-0 Palace win, 2-1 Liverpool, 0-0, 1-1, and a 2-0 win for Liverpool. So I want to get off Liverpool now. Well, after Wolves, even though against Wolves, again, their history ain't great. 2-0, 3-1, 2-0. There's a 3-0 loss in there, a 1-0 win, a 2-2. They particularly like playing Wolves, Jace. The last time they played them away, they won 3-1. Gakpo Andy Robertson scoring along with Hugo Bueno. Remember him?
Yeah.
Salah getting 2 assists. But at the moment, Wolves are absolutely pants. They're really bad at the moment.
I think Watkins
So-
is a good shout at having not owning him and not owning any Aston Villa.
He's finding his confidence. The only downside to Aston Villa is they've got some really, really important fixtures coming up. I know Emre's very, very good at managing his squad for Europe. Like, he's really good. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they're not. They've got Wickham in the cup next, where he can rest all his players. I'm sure finally Maatsen will be able to prove his worth. Then it's Ipswich away, and then it's Bayern Munich at home, Man United at home, and then after that, after the international break, it's Fulham, Bologna, Bournemouth, Tottenham. This is a really horrible upcoming fixture list for Aston Villa as well. So I'm happy to have Watkins because he's the main striker for like Haaland is for City. I get that, but if the fixture list gets too much for Ollie Watkins, Emery could look at him and be like, your fitness ain't great. You're not performing that great on the pitch, and you've got that bloke there, Duran, because Duran's going to play against Wickham. We know that. But that Bayern Munich, Jace, at home, that's huge for Aston Villa. Absolutely massive.
It's a headliner, isn't it?
If they get past Ipswich, which I think can be or will be a very, very, very tough fixture, I don't expect that to be easy at all. I'm thinking something like 2-1, maybe even some crappy 1-1. But Ipswich, last 3 fixtures, 1-1, 0-0, 1-1. They're trying to be tight defensively. They're trying to come through each game, just not losing. And I think they're going to make it very, very, very difficult for Aston Villa. In fact, I would not be surprised if that game ended 1-1, to be completely frank, or even Ipswich nicking it. But I think Aston Villa have got enough quality to probably. I mean, if I'm doing Super Brew, it's 2-1 to Aston Villa. But I expect Ipswich to score. But yeah, Ollie Watkins is slowly wavering for me, but if I can just get through these next 2 game weeks, Jakes, or this game week, with certain price rises and fallers, I may be able to get away with it. But to be completely frank, I don't think I will be. And I'm kind of like, because Liverpool just haven't done what I expected them to do, or more specifically, Salah hasn't done what I expected him to do.
Yeah, but could it just be one of these where next week he gets all the points that you've been waiting for? It's like, have you given it long enough, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but this is my point. This is why I'm happy to give them one more game versus Wolves.
Yeah.
That one game versus Wolves, and I'm probably going to be captaining him because he's my best option for my team in game week 6, to be frank. And then, like I say, I've got those 2 free transfers, thankfully, going into game week 7, and I'll be able to do, hopefully, Pedro, Salah, Trent out for Haaland, 4.5 midfielder, and Gabriel / Saliba.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be very, very tight for me, Jace. Very tight indeed.
Would you rather have Konate for Liverpool or Raya for Arsenal?
Raya.
I'm just looking at some crazy stuff. What do you think about Rico Lewis as well? Is what I want to.
Oh, he's fine.
About.
I think he'll play for City against Newcastle. Personally, I think Lewis is fine. I don't think you need to worry about him at all. You can just sit there. People will be panicking about him, but I don't think Walker did anything today to suggest that he is, even though he's the club captain or whatever, I don't expect him to be taken over Lewis's position. I think Lewis is... In fact, Pep Guardiola's come out and said already that he's happy with the performances Lewis has put in. So I think, yeah. So what are you thinking, Jace? What's in your mind?
So I had a minus 12 up here. In fact, I've got it up here right now. Let me put it on the screen, and like literally, I don't care. If I want to do it, I'll do it. But I don't care what everyone has to say. They can call me a noob and casual all they want. But this is my thinking, and it'd be rocking a few changes. Hang on, if I can find it. 1 second. So it'd be rocking a 3-5-2 formation. So what I would do is I would actually get rid of Pedro, because we know that he's, to be honest, it was a mistake getting him in. And then just getting him Lancashire, whatever, or just a normal 4.5 crap player.
Okay, so you're gonna get rid of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd still have Welbeck and I'd still have Haaland as two up front. Then my thinking was free some money up. Madueke, does he offer much more value than Rodgers in midfield at the price point of 6.5? I would say no, he doesn't. Looking at the fixtures, looking at the form, I would argue that I think they're probably very similar in terms of potential output, and I'm spending more on Madueke than I am on Rodgers. So if I take out Madueke and bring in Rodgers, that'll free up a little bit more money. Still with me? Then we say, right, we're going to take out Wout Face, because Wout Face is an absolute joke of a pick, and I should never have done it, and bring in Gabriel.
This is making me sick now.
And then we're going to go Rico Lewis out, Konate in.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
Okay, Henderson out. Are you ready for this?
Raya in?
Oh, no, I can't do Raya because he's 5.5. Oh, it's 5.6. I got 5 million. No, I'm not going to do Henderson out then. So that will be a -8. Madueke for Rodgers. Face for Gabriel.
And Pedro out for Parrot or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be honest. You know when I always say about people that do moves, and I think you're ahead of the curve there. I think that's worth a -8, genuinely. No messing about. I genuinely think for price rises, for the fact that you're getting rid of Pedro, who again...
Who's going down in price?
He won't be going down in price that quickly. He's not going to...
He's set to be going down, mate.
When?
According to FPL statistics tonight.
Tonight?
Apparently. -101.6 or whatever it was.
Pedro?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Well, unless I'm wrong, unless chat want to correct me.
Well, I'll quickly check. In fact, what are the chat saying?
Well, Dread FPL says, hit me. Dan says, go on, lad. Lots of wildcards are active, Jace, says Firetog.
Firetog's here, good lord.
Firetog's here. Didn't you two just wildcards, says Firetog?
Yeah, you're right about Pedro. Annoying.
I don't know if lots of people on wildcards, are they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Gameweek 6 has been a popular move for wildcarders.
Okay.
Very popular.
Right. So that'll be a -8. -8 is not too bad.
I think personally you're on to a winner there. I think that you're completely right about Madueke. I think that you're 100% correct about getting rid of Gabriel for Face. I mean, Jesus Christ. And then Pedro out for whatever. And then it means you've got a 3-5-2 formation with who? Gabriel, Trent and...
Mazarawi. Who, by the way, played absolutely amazing.
Amazingly. I'll tell you
midfield
what,
5.
that
This will be my team. This will be my team. It's on the screen now. If you can get it up on the phone or whatever on the stream, it'd be Henderson in goal, Gabriel, Lewis, Mazare, or Dunk if Lewis doesn't play. And then it would be Saka, Rodgers, Diaz, Salah, Rashford midfield, and then Welbeck, Haaland up front.
I think that genuinely, I'm not pulling your leg here. I think that actually pisses me off. To be
And I'd
frank.
have 0.5 in the bank.
Yeah, that just takes the piss even more. I like that a lot, and I mean a lot.
-8 is too much of a risk when every game week we're seeing everyone get frustrated with someone big, says Nuclear Atoms in the chat.
Yeah, but again, you're bringing in quality players for crap. I don't see why you wouldn't do it, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, I could flip the switch slightly. Instead of taking Madueke out, take Rashford out.
Why would you do? So, even though Man United's fixtures and the fact that...
No, I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying that if I wanted to extend to Raya...
No, I'd rather have Rashford. Their fixtures: Tottenham, Aston Villa, Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea. I don't think there's... And Leicester, Ipswich up to game week. What's that game? It's 16, something like that? 12. I really don't see the need to get rid of Rashford unless...
And also that would if involving Raya, that would be a -12, which is too much for a goalkeeper, really, to...
Yeah. I think it's an aggressive -8, and I think you should do it, Jace. It annoys me that I can't go down this route. It annoys me a lot I can't go down that route. And I'm gutted that Palmer came off yesterday instead of Madueke. You are aware of what happened there, aren't you?
No.
So Madueke is trying to break my leg today, take me off. And Palmer was, honestly, he was doing really well. In fact, ironically, Jace, there was a moment where Madueke was put through, and the easiest thing he could have done was just square it off to Palmer, and Palmer would have just put it in the back of the net. And what does Madueke do? Selfishly go for goal, and he just completely scuffs it. And I thought at that point, I'm like, yeah, Palmer's not going to be getting anything more than this goal. So I'm still keen on Palmer. But again, I'm just frustrated at the returns that he's got versus Bournemouth away. West Ham away, okay, I'm content with he got a goal, but Bournemouth away, he was so far out right, I could not believe it. And then they've got Brighton at home, Nottingham Forest at home, which are decent fixtures, home fixtures, where usually Palmer does quite well. So I'm going to have to stay really, really strong here, Jace. And once this stream ends, whenever that is, I can just shut everything down and not have to think about FPL and just allow those players to rise up in price, and then just... by the time it gets around to game week 7, just be like, right, see what I can do, to be completely frank. But because, like I say, the only way I can get...
Should we do a poll in the chat, see what the people say about this team?
I love it.
See what the guys say. These will be the transfers, guys. Let's do a poll in the chat. Let's see what the knowledge of the masses. Is the team on the screen worth the -8? Yes or no? Start poll. This poll is now live. Do it, Steve-O, now, says Dan.
Not me, it's for Jace.
No, I was probably on about what you've been talking about, your moves. But obviously your moves are over series of game weeks.
Mm.
Is there a playing 5 million or lower striker. There's not, is there?
No, there's not. There's not. No.
Closest is Danny Ings, I suppose.
Cameron Archer, if he's here.
He's more than
he's 5 million. No, he's 5 million.
Callum Archer.
Cameron Archer of Southampton.
Oh, yeah.
He's 4.5.
No, he's 5.
He's 5, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but hang on. If I was to do the moves. João Pedro out. Madueke out. Face out. Can you believe that Face is still gone up and is on 96.1% potential for going up?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It is ridiculous, I know.
That would be ridiculous. And I brought Archer in. Is he playing instead of someone at the moment that's injured, or is he just getting minutes?
Archer? No.
Is he just coming on as a sub every game?
It's just Armstrong isn't performing particularly great, apparently. So
he's not got a goal. He's not got an assist. He's not got anything. Last season, 4 goals, 3 assists in the whole. Oh God. Okay, so it'll be Cameron Archer then just... Or do I just have the 0.5 in the bank just for security reasons?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, it's because Archer's not going to get any points. You might get 1 point more than Lancashire when it doesn't play. But this Rodgers kid, I think he could be a bargain for the season. FPL bargain in the season.
What are people saying regarding your -8? I'm hoping it's in favour of doing it.
Isaac to Havertz, what do you think? Says Mohammed. We're having the
Isaac
chat.
to Havertz. Yeah. Newcastle
are just
pants.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, just to let me make this clear, I genuinely have this feeling that Man City could legitimately win that 4 or 5-0 next week against Newcastle. Newcastle are absolutely shambles of a team.
Just reminding people, if you want to come on and talk to us on the show, feel free to come on to Discord.
Oh, we're doing that tonight, aren't we?
Well, otherwise I'm going to bed.
Because I am seriously worried about this whole price dropping and price rising of particular players.
Are you really?
What are people saying about your -8? What are they saying?
62% of the public say no.
No.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
They don't like it, Steve.
But why? I don't understand what's wrong with it.
It's different. It's risky.
You're getting rid of... risky. You're getting rid of Pedro for a non-playing player.
Why Stewart for Southampton transferred in?
Who?
Stewart for Southampton.
Who's
he's been playing minutes. 4.5 million forward for Southampton. He's getting minutes. 28 minutes, 31 minutes against Ipswich.
Well, that is very true, but I wouldn't be...
Well, just wondering, yeah.
Again, it's better than...
It's a wild card. It's a wild card, isn't it? That's what it is. What do you think of Ollie Watkins for the next 5 weeks? Yeah,
like I said, he's guaranteed to start every match no matter what, but he's only going to be playing if they're winning. he comes off in the 65th minute or so. If they're losing, he stays on until they're winning. So if you look at his minutes here, 61, 64, 60, 83, because they had to keep him on. And against Wolves, 90 minutes, because they had to keep him on to win. But he was complaining about fitness issues.
Fire talk. I think at 9 million, he might be a bit too much. Would you agree? Have they priced him too much, Devo? Should he be 8 million?
No, 9 million's fine. What he was doing last season was incredible. It was incredible.
Mm.
You see, your -8 is more better than mine that I've got up on screen right now. It'll be, and this is the thing, this is how the power play is for you, doing better than me. You've already got the players that I'm bringing in, but I've got Haaland, Gabriel in for Pedro and Trent. And then to replace Salah, Dibbling of Southampton.
Wow.
But these are all just desperate moves. I'm just happy to keep this Salah for one more game week. Do you know what? I'm coming out of FPL right now. I'm staying on the video
It's too
screen.
dangerous. Is it too dangerous?
Because I think I'm just want to encourage you to do this very good move. I think you should just do it immediately and let bygones be bygones. Because like I said, you're getting rid of Pedro, who's got terrible fixtures upcoming, going to be going down in price. You're then getting rid of Face, who you're never going to play, for Gabriel.
Yeah.
And then Madueke out, who's just a waste of space by all accounts.
Rodgers, who is a promising talent.
For Rodgers. I say go for it. Do you want to bring Nuclear Atoms on?
Drag him in.
I think you need to get in Discord as well.
All right. Talk about his team for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to make some transfers. Hello, Nuclear. Oh, no.
He's in. He's in.
Hello, Nuclear Atoms. You're live and Big Brother. Please do not swear.
That joke is as old as the show itself, I think.
It's cringe, isn't it, really? He's got himself muted on Discord, that's why.
And have a guess why he's coming on air.
Because he's bragging about 95 points?
Yeah.
How much has he got?
Well, you're only 12 off. 83.
Nico Rams, you come on to grill out about your points this week.
Oh, this is the only chance I'm gonna get. My luck is as bad as Steve's. Flex.
You can certainly flex this week. Incredible. Diaz, Jackson, Haaland, Salah, Trent, Rodgers. Any blanks in your team? Incredible.
Brighton boys were a big disappointment. The wildcard game week 4 went well. This last week was a disaster. As another disaster class from him, he's been disappointing so far. I only had one return from him, even though I started him since the first game of the season. My defense are shambles right now. I just focused on the attack. So I thought the attackers would get more than the defenders in the later games. And there are more games nowadays. There are more goals nowadays. So I was guessing maybe I'll just prioritize getting all the attackers while I can on the wild card. Now with 2 free transfers, I need to keep up with the wild card 6.
Have you got any money in the bank?
I made my 2 free transfers, so now 1.7.
What did you do?
Yesterday I did Eze out, and I just didn't had 0.2 in the bank to get Mboimo. So I did Eze out to Mboimo and I had to get somewhere at 0.2. I thought maybe like Rico Lewis, but 4.4 there was only one option and it was Alex Moreno. I wasn't going for it because I need Gabriel later on. And there was also João Pedro to Raul Jimenez move, and I still didn't like that either. So I had to get rid of Jackson for DCL to get that money.
Oh wow. Getting rid of Jackson, the striker that's doing everything for Chelsea.
I just thought maybe I should get the points and run because Jackson is a bit inconsistent, even though his XG is massive. It's just Chelsea being Chelsea sometimes. And their fixtures are a big mixed bag. They aren't all great. They're gonna face teams that have like good defenses. Maybe Brighton didn't have the best defense today because they changed some of the players around. But usually they keep things tight, and then they have Nottingham Forest who have
Well,
another team who has good defensive. And then
I'm
there's
assuming.
some big games coming up.
No.
Did you watch the game?
I didn't watch the game.
I've just confirmed the transfers. I wanted to bring in Archer instead of Lancashire.
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let Newcastle Rams finish first. So, did you watch the Brighton game, Newcastle Rams?
No, I didn't. I just
Right.
checked the score and then just watched
Yeah.
the highlights and
Yeah.
how he got all the goals.
The game was crap. I had to turn it off. It was so boring. The penalty was just the most frustrating thing. It's just that typical thing where Balbeo will just look at it and go, why did I do that? It's a penalty all day. I'm not sitting here pretending it's not, but it was just one of those where you just like, really? After 11 minutes, I think it was, I just rolled my eyes thinking, oh, great, here we go. And then obviously I didn't watch any of the rest of it because I watched the preceding 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm just bored out of my mind here. And then came back home, see it was 2-1, see that Jason's Welbeck scored. I'm just like, yeah, typical. All of Jason's players are coming through now. And then I see the goal on a counter-attack from Nottingham Forest where, yeah, they did well in the counter-attack. And they scored from their third or fourth opportunity in the game. But really, the game ending 2-2, it had draw written all over it. It ended up as a draw. I don't think 2-2 was really worthy of what actually the outcome was. I think if it ended 1-1, I think it would have reflected the game a bit better, but whatever. Obviously, a popular FPL asset in Morgan Gibbs-White was sent off, but yeah, I'm not particularly happy now owning the Brighton double up of Duncan for Bruggen. And have you kind of, now you've done your 2 free transfers of Eze and Jackson out for Calvert-Lewin and Burma, are you happy with that? Because obviously Jason's doing this -8 and
Done it.
he's done it, and you're not happy with it, you Grams, are you? Just criticising him just now.
I'm happy with my
I'm
transfers.
criticising myself right now. I made the wrong bloody transfer.
I don't like the -8 you did. Like 4.5 dead striker isn't the way to go nowadays. You need depth because
No, I've got
there's
depth.
like
I've got depth. I've got Danny
European
Welbeck.
fixtures coming up.
What do you mean I need depth? I've got a Dunk on the bench.
Who else do you have?
Greaves, he's playing every game.
But one of your main forward space is dead weight now. Forward
Doesn't matter.
space.
Forwards offer no value this season.
They offer more value than 4.0 defenders.
No, midfielders offer more value than forwards. That's why I've stacked on midfielders and concentrated on those.
Who are your midfielders now?
Saka, Luis Diaz, Salah, Rodgers, and Rashford.
I mean, that's good, but there's still Rashford. Rashford is another.
Well, Rashford ain't going to be relegated to the bench, mate. Can tell you that much. That was his one-off. So
Yeah, maybe, but he's inconsistent.
No, 100%. It's a return of Rashford.
That's highly unlikely. the way he's going sometimes.
Wow.
Like he just turns up like the
It's my one punt in my team that I've gone with.
yeah. I mean, you're a United fan. I just don't like United as a whole because I think their defense is good, but their attack, like I just don't know where the goals come in sometimes. Like Bruno's looking good, but then he doesn't deliver. And then
Hoyland's back from injury
Xerxes
now,
as well.
so maybe from him.
You don't need Hoyland when you got Xerxes. Xerxes is a better striker than Hoyland. He's linking up very well. And when you guys took off Xerxes, it was game over. Like you couldn't have scored. Xerxes was looking so much better. And then Rashford came on, and then all the flow just ended for United. And it was bound to end 0-0 in that game.
Oh, come on. He only came off for like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, but Xerxes could have made the difference, right? Like, in his first game, he came on and he scored and made the difference. And Xerxes is that player.
Anyway, enough of my team. Where are you ranked? 611,000?
It's a big boost today. Like, I was 1.7 million. And then after this week, got a big boost with this 83 points. And I needed this. But Gameweek for wildcard needed to bang because like my punts were Jackson and Diaz, and they both did well. Jackson was the one I was pretty worried about because I was seeing that last week he should have got something, and then I was thinking he blanked and okay, this West Ham game he has to score. Last season against West Ham he did score 2 goals, so maybe, and Chelsea are a better team away than they're at home. So all the signs were there and he delivered. Now I just think, okay, I should just cut my losses and get ahead of the game and bring in DCL because I need the funds to get Mboimo. Mboimo's just scoring every week. Even though he's not looking great on the eye, he just gets the goal. And he's on penalties as well, and he's a much better option with Tony not in Brentford anymore, and even Wissa being out. He's just going to be the main man all around. Currently, I'm thinking about like Rico Lewis out for Gabriel for a -4. I don't know if I should do it tonight or find some other way to get Gabriel.
Say that again. Lewis out for Gabriel.
Yeah, I can do it.
I'll be getting Porro out for Gabriel.
Yeah, that's another one. But Poro has
I
West
don't like
Ham
Tottenham at all.
at home in Gameweek 8 as well. From that point, Spurs' fixture gets good. So I don't know, maybe in the long term he could come in good. But yeah, I get it. Spurs' defense are a bit of a mess, and they can't defend set pieces for their lives. Just horrendous.
Lewis, of course, is a rotation risk. I expect him to play against Newcastle, but they've got Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, whereas Spurs have got Man U, Brighton, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Ipswich.
Stumbling
I agree
blocks
with
there.
Jason.
Clean sheets, wipe out. Most of those games, I expect the opposition to score.
Yeah, I agree with Jason.
I think Porro to Gabriel, mate. Don't get rid of Rico Lewis. He's still going to get your game time. And there's a good chance if he doesn't start, he doesn't play, right? So you just get someone off the bench coming on in his stead.
Well, the problem is you've got Mascaro, which looks like a long-term injury unless something's come out about him.
Here's another one. Like I think I can deal with him later on when I get rid of either Luis Diaz or Salah. Then I can bulk up the defense even more. I think for me, João Pedro stays for the long term because I can't find anyone else better than him in that value. I'm not going to make the sideways move to Welbeck. That's not an option. And there's Raul Jimenez.
Jamie Vardy, as Steve just said.
Jamie Vardy I can do. If I do Rico Lewis to Gabriel tonight, I'll have 0.1. And then I can do Pedro to Vardy in Gameweek 8.
Nuke Rams. That, because Pedro's going down in price.
Was that, sorry? What was his?
Yeah, but I bought him for like 5.6 and he's currently 5.7.
So then,
yeah, but when he goes down, he's going to go down to 5.5.
No.
No,
Go down
no.
to 5.6.
He stays.
No?
Yeah,
You
it stays
sure?
5.6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
You
could've
won't
sworn I had a player
get
last year who-
any. You won't.
Okay, okay.
Hang on. He's currently at value. He's currently valued at 5.8. Is that right?
His current price.
Jamie Vardy.
No.
No.
You're on about Pedro.
He's
João
5.7.
Pedro is currently 5.7. But I bought him at 5.6.
Oh, so João Pedro is currently at 5.7. You bought him at 5.6. Well, in that case, you're not going to lose any money if he goes down in value.
Right, okay, right. Oh, that's all right then.
He has to drop by
Maybe-
2 for him to lose.
Yeah.
So I actually maybe then be able to do that move in game week 7 then, Jace. Pedro, Salah, Trent out for Haaland, Dibbling for argument's sake, or Winks, and Gabriel. But I think I'm going to be priced out of that unless Trent goes up by 0.1 when he gets a double-digit return against Wolves. I'll be honest with you, Karams. I think you're minus a possible -8 for getting rid of Poro. Can you do Poro out for Gabriel for free?
No, there will also be a -4 because I already used 2 free transfers.
Sorry, I meant you've got enough money to do it.
Yeah.
And have you got enough money to do it for Lewis?
Yeah.
Looking at your bench, I think Lewis out for Gabriel and having Trent, Poro, and Gabriel as your main 3. That could be your thing because you're relying on Greaves and Lewis, really, if Lewis isn't going to be playing. That's the problem. Even though, like I say, I expect him to get some good minutes, but you're never knowing when he's going to play. But if you can bring in Gabriel for a Lewis out for a Gabriel who's guaranteed to play. That's the problem with your team. You've got you've got Mosquero, who's probably going to be out for a long time, by all accounts. Lewis, as we just said, is like a 50-50. Greaves is Ipswich.
Mr. Scruffy, Scruffy misses a lot. Steve-O, I really wouldn't sell Trent. I really would not sell Trent as good as Gabriel is.
Why? What's the reasoning behind that?
I think he's trying to get to the fact that Trent offers more of a attacking threat than Gabriel, but
And
then
how does
Gabriel offers more of a defensive clean
despite
sheet.
the fact that Gabriel has well,
Tried to have
ironically, they're
both.
on
Like
30 the
Trent
same
is a
points.
season loan. I mean, season keeper. And the other guy, Gabriel, is just so good from set pieces and plays in the best defense in the Premier League. So both are really good. And you'll go a long way if you have both of them in your squad.
Would you put them at the same level in terms of FPL output over the course of a season?
This season, yeah, because Arsenal is so good.
One's at 6 million, one's at 7 million, then so one offers more value for money, right?
But both of them are great because Trent also is a bonus point magnet. So if he gets like 1 assist, he still gets bonus points even with losing the clean sheet. So both are like very similar, but also
I'm looking at it
really
from a
nice to
fixtures
have
point
both
of view, though.
of them. You don't have to worry about your defense if you have both of them in the long run.
I think both of them are great shouts going forward, to be honest. Right, I need to go blow my nose.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll do a bit of admin. There is quite a lot of people watching us right now. Make sure you are hitting the subscribe button and make sure you hit the like button. It'd be great to hit 8,000 subscribers by Christmas. That would be amazing. And just to let people know who are $4.99 members on Patreon, the Trophy League, I have warned you, it would be closed today. So if you're not in it, you're not in it. And I've also put a post up for the $4.99 tier members about basically Ask Me Anything. A few people have already commented on it. It's just to kind of kickstart back up the Patreon podcast because I've been away for 2 weeks. I've just haven't had time to do anything, to be honest with you. But I've got a few comments that have already come in. So if you want to participate on that Patreon podcast by asking me a question, whether it's FPL, life, work, whatever, it's there and it's open for all $4.99 members. Other than that, Jace, what are people saying in the chat? Thank you, Nuclear Atoms, by the way. Thanks for coming on.
Wait, before I go, I want to ask, did you guys see the Gabriel goal? Like, it was so piss easy for him to score.
Yeah, Walker, he literally said, I could lip read him. He was going, it was my fault. It was my fault. I don't know who he was speaking to, but he was just saying to one of his teammates, yeah, it was my fault. It was my fault. And
yeah, Walker
was
was just tapping Gabriel the whole time, and then when the ball came in, he just went around him and he scored. Like, it was so easy. Like, that makes me want to have him even more.
Well, he did it twice, didn't he? He did it with, was it Doku on the first one?
Doku first.
Got 3 of. Yeah, and then he got rid of him. Well, in fact, what did you think of the red card to Trossard or the second yellow?
I think it was a bit harsh, but I mean, he did waste time a lot. So he got the yellow card for the wasting time and then made a tackle. I don't think no one's complaining about the Trossard thing. It was pretty justified in getting the second yellow. It wasn't straight red. And there was a lot of time wasting from Arsenal today. It was a vintage time wasting performance from Arsenal. But they did what they had to do.
Yeah, I think, let's get real here. If Real Madrid were in the same position against Man City and they were 2-1 up and they had to play against Man City for 50 minutes, or if not longer, 55 minutes, you'd probably expect them to do the same. Just try and do whatever they can. And even if Real Madrid are playing whoever, the equivalent in the La Liga, again, I don't know, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, whoever their rivals are, and if they were playing opponents that had lost a player, you'd probably expect them to be defending for their lives, especially when they're winning. So you can't blame Arsenal for what they did. But as a neutral that has no real care for or no direct impact on your life regarding the English Premier League, what did you actually think of the match itself? Because I found it really bizarre.
I found it tense since I kind of wanted Arsenal to win because of the title. Like, now City's in full control, so it would have been way more fun if Arsenal would have won, and we would have seen, okay, what is City gonna do next, and will Arsenal just keep on going like this? But yeah, as a neutral, like, it was a tense match to watch because Arsenal just hanging on for dear life and then pinging the ball and clearing it, 10 men behind. Every time City was taking a shot, they were blocking it. All the wrong players were also taking shots from City, like Diaz, Kovacic. Like, they're not gonna score bangers. You need Haaland and the attackers to score bangers. Savinho was also making some mistakes as well, and then he was taken off. Doku came on, and Grealish came on and made a real impact. Doku just doesn't suit City. He needs to go in a team where he's like the main man in it. And people just pass the ball and he just dribbles past and scores. Just like what Jack Grealish did in Villa. Doku doesn't suit this team. He doesn't carry the wit and just keeps on making mistakes. Bernardo Silva as well. He was getting bullied by Gabriel Jesus somehow. He got bullied twice and he had a very poor performance today. City just at the Etihad, they came in clutch right at the end. John Stones impact sub and just got a lucky shot on the rebound and scored.
Are you playing Champions League fantasy football?
Not this year. I deleted my account because the first game I didn't have Kane and he got like 3 penalties and he scored. It was so stupid from Daniel Sark to give away 3 penalties.
Well, I was going to say, if you are playing Champions League, I have a feeling that Bayern Munich are going to absolutely batter Aston Villa. I just have it in my head they're going to absolutely tear them to pieces. But Who knows? Who knows? New Crams, thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot for having me. It was a great discussion and cleared some of my thoughts. Maybe help me out to get that Rico Lewis to Gabriel decision over the line.
Cheers, dude. See you later. There's New Crams there, and like I say, he's doing very well, up to 600k, and he's done his 2 free transfers. Jackson out for Calvert-Lewin, Eze out for Mbermo. They're pretty straightforward moves, pretty template, but it leaves his team as Verbruggen in goal / Flecken, Trent Poro, Greaves / Lewis, Rodgers and Mbermo, Diaz, Salah, Pedro, Haaland, Calvert-Lewin. But I think me and Jason are trying to encourage him to maybe do that -4 to get rid of either Poro or Lewis for Gabriel. But I think Newcastle can hold on to a week. And if Jason and I can hold on for one more week, if I can get through this week without Haaland going up in price and Pedro dropping down again, I can do the move for a -4 in game week 7. Haaland, Gabriel, 4.5 midfielder in for Trent, Salah, and Pedro. If I can get through literally this week. So for the next 7 days, can I get through it? Who knows? What the chat saying, Jace, before we get out of here?
Chat are saying just because City have more points doesn't mean it's in their hands to win the title. Savinho reminds me of a little bit slightly like Mahrez. Says
Hold on a minute. Let's retract that comment. I think it is in City's hands if they're ahead. Are they ahead in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in their hands.
They are. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's at the Etihad. I mean, it was a tough game. I think that I don't think for any sense of the imagination Arsenal had their heads lowered at the end of that game. I think they could be proud of that performance. They are 2 points now behind Man City. It's so basically a win for them and a loss to Man City, and it's, you know, they overtake. So I think it's way too early to be kind of reading into it too much. Will it be a pivotal result come the end of the season? I don't know. I would like to think no.
In fact, I think Arsenal / Arteta can come away with that and go, you know what? Despite us drawing, we played the second half for 55 minutes with 10 men, and look how well we defended. That's what I'd be saying.
I mean,
I'd
if
be
anything,
really encouraged by
it could actually be a catalyst.
Yeah,
for them to kind of move forward with.
And I think the fact that we got the Carling, whatever it is, the Carabao Cup this week, players can be rested, recharged, and they got 2 home fixtures along with their Champions League fixture in between. So I think that they can come out of these next few fixtures, and then it really does kick on from next week. How many people on X listening in at the moment, Jace?
I will give you a moment. Hello on X if you're watching us.
Make sure you jump over and subscribe, and make sure you come say hello by commenting on the stream, and let us know if you're listening in. It's always nice to know people on X are tuning in, because I think it's a bit more easier to listen.
It's easiest on X for a lot of people.
Right.
We've currently got 112 people watching us on X. So hello to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
if all 112 want to jump over and subscribe, we could get to
subscribe.
that.
Subscribe. Yeah, follow us on social media, guys. Jump into the Discord and join Nuclear Atoms and come on the show. Talk to us about your FPL team. We've got Yellow Army in the chat talking about unpopular opinion.
Hello, mate.
Unpopular opinion: Palmer is overrated as an FPL asset, as an owner.
What?
Would you think he's overrated as an FPL asset?
Do I think Palmer is overrated as an FPL asset?
Do you think Palmer is overrated as an FPL asset? I would be inclined to say, so far this season, yes. But we are very much into game week 5. It's very early.
I think these next 2 home fixtures.
Yeah, give him a
Brighton
bit
and
more
Nottingham
time.
Forest.
Give him a bit more time before making that, the final nail in the coffin for him.
Yeah, because Palmer's fixtures, without keep going over the same bloody thing, but it's always
Tasty.
worth reminding people. You've got 2 good home fixtures against Brighton and Nottingham Forest, and they are good fixtures in my opinion. But then it's Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Arsenal. Horrific. Apart from Man United away, that ain't too bad. Or actually, in fact, Newcastle and Man United aren't too bad. So in the next 7 fixtures, they've actually got, I would actually argue Brighton at home is harder than Man United away, personally. But then they got, like I said, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, and Leicester in the next 7. And they got Liverpool and Arsenal in between all that. I think we can give Palmer more of a chance here to prove himself. Like I said, he came off yesterday.
A couple of more game weeks is ample enough, I think.
I would expect Palmer over the next 2 fixtures to be bringing in a minimum of 3 attacking returns. I think it's the fact he's on penalties as well. That's a key, and he would have stayed on the pitch yesterday. That's a fact. It's just that he said to the bench, "Don't take Madueke off. Take me off instead," which shows a lot of maturity for him, and he shows that he doesn't want to get injured, and he wants to continue performing at the highest level, as patronising as that bloody sounds. But it's just a simple fact that these particular players are, they're looking out for themselves and they don't want to be getting too hurt. But yeah, I think all the points have come in, Jace, regarding bonus points, and yeah, it was.
And where are you? Well, it doesn't matter now. I've just shopped 8 points, so you're 8 points ahead of me now. Well, depends into the end of the first game week day. So
do you want to just remind the audience quickly what you did?
Well, not really.
On a -8.
I took out Pedro for a non-playing. Well, I should have put in Cameron Archer. I put in Lancashire instead.
So why did you do that?
Because I forgot to switch it on the screen. So I was playing around with it on the tab in the browser on my other window, and of course I had it on the Prism or on the OBS, whatever, and I forgot to switch it on there. I switched it on one, but I didn't switch it on the other. So then I brought, with the money I freed up from taking Pedro out, I upgraded Wout Face from Leicester to Gabriel of Arsenal, and I did a sideways kind of, I would class it as a sideways move. Madueke, who is going to be risking minutes in that Chelsea team, more so than I think Rodgers is in that Aston Villa team. Yeah, that's what I went.
Well, I would argue, again, I think me personally, I always keep saying this, I look at your team and I think, I look at people's teams and I think, yeah, that scares me. And
I'll put it on the screen as the team as well. So
yeah, your team scares the crap out of me. Although I would say that this particular week, Gabriel beats Face, obviously, but then Madueke at home to Brighton or at Rodgers away at Ipswich, I'd take Madueke. And then, ironically, Pedro away at Chelsea versus whoever, it doesn't really matter.
That's how my team's set up. This is how my team is set up. Well,
it's the fact you got Rashford.
My team's set up with
incredible.
Henderson in goal, Gabriel, Mazraoui, Lewis, Saka, Diaz, Salah, Rodgers, Rashford, Welbeck and Haaland. Then I've got Lewis Dunk on the bench, and then Greaves. Is it Jimmy Greaves? I want to say, but it's not Jimmy Greaves. It's Jacob Greaves.
I think I personally think that is a very, very, very good team. You've got the 2 Liverpool.
And I got 0.5 in the bank.
You got 0.5. This game against Tottenham, I mean, it's really weird to look at. It's usually the home team that does well. But
Steve-O, if you look on your phone, you'll see it. I've sent it on my phone.
Yeah, I can envisage it. But Man United do like playing Tottenham. There's goals in this game. They beat them 3-0 away, and then we got a 3-2 home win, 2-0 home win, 2-2 away at Tottenham. You lost 2-0 to Tottenham, but then you got a 2-2. I can see Rashford doing something this Sunday, and it scares the crap out of me. In fact, he did score against them last season in that 2-2 victory. He got a goal in the 40th minute, and Højlund was the one. In fact, Højlund got the first goal after the 3rd minute, if this rings any bells. And then Højlund assisted Rashford in the 40th minute. And Rashford was substituted in the 88th minute for Anthony. But the big question, as Nuclear Atoms made the point, is does Xerxes start and Garnacho start ahead of Rashford? I don't think they do. I think Rashford will probably be put through the middle and Garnacho on the left. What do you think?
I think that's maybe the strategy that Ten Hag's going to go with. I personally like seeing Rashford more on the left, but with the fact that he could play Xerxes down the middle and just bench Garnacho, to be honest. Would not surprise me.
Yeah, I think that comes to a natural conclusion, Jay, to the stream. I think it's gone very well tonight, and I think that your moves that you've done are excellent. You've got it out the way. You're going to get a price rise tonight from Gabriel, and I think the tables are turning for you to run the set. Oh no, you're 8 points behind me.
Yeah,
so what's our differentials, just of interest?
Now it would be Haaland,
Henderson,
Welbeck, Henderson, Saka, Rashford.
No, I've got Saka.
Oh, Haaland. Oh yeah, you did De Bruyne and Saka, didn't you? Haaland, Welbeck, Rashford, Gabriel, Henderson, Diaz. That's 6. Mazraoui, did I say him?
No, so Mazraoui, yeah.
7.
Wow.
It's a lot.
So 7 of your starting 11.
What's your 7 differentials? Let's work out what the differentials are. So it's Haaland and Welbeck versus...
Go from the goalkeeper, so it'd be Flecken and
Henderson versus Flecken.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, nah. Gabriel, Mazraoui and Lewis, I've got.
Versus Konate, Trent, and I'm probably going to play Lewis. So
I think you win just about on there. Konate and Trent. Away at Wolves.
I think... No, Wolves are scoring against Liverpool.
Okay.
But Liverpool are going to win that 3 or 4-1, in my opinion.
Okay. So you think maybe even on defence then?
Yeah.
Okay, Saka, Diaz, Salah, Rodgers, Rashford.
Hold on a minute. So it's Diaz.
Right,
yeah.
Diaz, Rashford.
Diaz, Rashford, and... Because I've got Saka, Rodgers and Salah already. So
it's Diaz and Rashford, isn't it?
Diaz and Rashford versus Mbeumo and Palmer. Diaz and Rashford versus Mbeumo and Palmer. Mbeumo at home to West Ham. Palmer at home to Chelsea. But Man United at home
he plays
to
for Chelsea.
And Diaz away at Wolves, where there's a small possibility, unlikely, that Diaz may be benched. And then up front, we've got Calvert-Lewin, Watkins versus Haaland and Welbeck. Well, there's only one winner there. One winner there.
I think it's going to be a tough one, man.
Do you know, when you do it like that, when you kind of compare the teams like that, you go, actually, it's very close, isn't it? Who are you captaining for next week?
It is very
Haaland
close.
again?
Haaland, yeah.
Great. I do fear that Haaland hat-trick potentially against Newcastle.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that sums everything up and draws to a conclusion. It's 9:15. I need to go sit down and spend some time with my wife and get rid of this cold. I need to get rid of this cold. It sucks. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, and hit subscribe, follow us on social media at Elite FPL. We'll see you again for the preview on Thursday. We'll do Thursday. Shall we do Thursday?
Yeah, whenever you're available. What I was going to say is that make sure that if you are watching this now or you're watching on the replay, you're commenting on the stream afterwards.
Yeah, comment on the stream afterwards, even if it's
the
like,
feedback on Jason.
I had chips and mayonnaise for dinner, even if you say stuff like that. All the best.
Yeah.